We all live busy lives, and it can be very difficult to make time for our hobbies. And if we're trying to improve our hobbies, it can be so difficult unless we're practicing on a regular basis. So, over Tour de Fleece, I've been promising myself a few minutes of spinning each day to try and improve my long draw. Although I've been spinning for nearly 20 years, long draw is not something that I spin very often, so I thought I would take the opportunity of the Tour de Fleece event to really work on it. And today I invite you to spend a few minutes with me as I spin long draw and this lovely Ryland fleece that I've been working with. Took me roughly 10 minutes to just get the brolly set up and sit down and spin. By the time it's edited, it'll probably be slightly less than that, but it really was. I was spinning for probably about 8 minutes. And that's probably all I've got time for today. Quite a lot of things to do. We had quite a late night, stroke early morning last night because England were playing in the World Cup and it was a very late kickoff. So we've been very kind of slow and steady this morning, but I do have things to do. So I wanted to get my little bit of spinning in before I sort of go ahead and do other things. And I've got a little bit of planting to do in the dye garden. And then I wanted to show you what happened to my flax harvest because, oh dear. So I planted flax. I didn't plant very much. It was just a little kind of test patch just to see what would happen. And it was germinating and all looking very exciting. And then the local neighbourhood cats decided that they would scratch it up. I had a few plants left, a very few plants left, and I sort of put barricades around them. And then when I thought they were safe, I took away the barricades, only to have little pussycats come back and do it again. So I'm left with about 4 stalks, and they're upside down drying at the moment because I will collect the seed. But yeah, that didn't really work. So do it slightly differently next year. But it's possible. It did grow. Flax did grow here. Just I decided that I was going to grow some new potatoes rather than a lot of flax, just because of things that are happening in the world and kind of wanting to have a little bit more food being grown in the garden than normally we do. So as I say, I've just had this little corner, and little pussycats decided that, you know, they would do what cats do, just where I had planted my flax. And I honestly thought kind of what was left was safe. And I don't like to have things all sort of cluttering around plants, because I think, you know, I don't want animals to injure themselves on it. And it, you know, it looks a bit messy, she says. Messy, kind of wild cottage garden behind me. Anyway, so lesson learned, do it slightly differently next year. Okay, right. Well, I'll probably see you in a little bit when I'm looking at the next stage of the dye garden. Right, I'm trying to find somewhere shady to talk to you. Next job, dealing with the woad seed that I harvested a couple of days ago, and I just cut it and put it in the wheelbarrow. And now I'm going to bring the wheelbarrow down, sit in the shade, and just kind of cut off all the seeds that are ripe. So this is what I cut down a couple of days ago, and it's been in this wheelbarrow. Now I want to take it down into the shade, but this wheelbarrow has a broken, the tyre has a puncture. It's not really broken, it just has a puncture. So it's going to be fairly entertaining getting it down the steps. However, it's very light, so I'm sure I'll manage. I've positioned myself under the brolly with a nice breeze blowing from front to back. I have a little bowl, so that is going to be for the seeds that are going to be planted next year. And then in here are going to be the seeds that are going to be for dyeing. So I'm just going to make sure I've got some really, really ripe seeds for next year. Probably don't need that many. And this is really fighting back, this stuff. Okay, that'll be enough for next year. And not all of them are ripe, so I won't use those ones. And then I'm going to start on just stripping the rest of this off and putting it in my bag, but you don't need to see that because that's going to take me quite a while. Okay, so I have my bag of harvested woad, and then I thought I'd show you my 5 little stems of flax, which in theory could be turned into linen, but I think I probably won't be doing that. Anyway, next thing is I have one set of plants for the dye garden that didn't get planted out. I'm really, really tight on space this year, but I think I've got a little bit of room, particularly if I go and clear what's left of the potatoes, to put in the sunflowers. So that is my next job. I don't particularly like gardening with gloves, but as I know there have been catty visitors here, I think it's rather important to have gloves on. So we've got a few weeds, of course, and then just the last couple of potato plants, but they have really suffered in the drought, so I'm not expecting a huge harvest. But this sort of area, once I've got these potatoes out, then this is where I'm going to plant the Hopi Indian sunflowers. I think it said Hopi, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, they probably should have gone out long ago, but I've been so short on space that they've been in pots until now. But we've got a few nice little new potatoes, and they'll be lovely with salads and with our barbecue chicken that we've got planned for tomorrow night. And I'm sort of just scraping them out with my hands because I don't want to damage them. And also you can see how incredibly dry this soil is. So I think next year I won't be worrying about planting potatoes in here because the soil just is not good enough for them. Because as you can see, it's a fairly meagre harvest. And a few more here. All right, let's get me a little hoe, my favourite little, made out of copper alloy implement. And I did put a link to where I got this in the last video where I showed it, but it is a great little tool. And the theory is that slugs don't like the copper alloy, so when you're working the soil, oh, that's quite a big potato, then it helps to reduce your slug population, your slug and snail population, because I guess the theory is that you leave some of the sort of the copper in the soil, which they don't like. Anyway, I don't know whether it actually works, but it's a great tool, and I just use it because I like it rather than because I think it has any magical anti-slug properties, because I don't think it does really. But again, I'm happy to be proved wrong. If it's something you use and it works for you, then just let me know, because I am quite happy to be wrong about things. Yes, this is a very tiny harvest. And I'm going to put some farmyard manure into this soil before I plant my sunflowers. Oh, and there's a Kong. I don't think that's going to be very tasty. A bit of well-rotted organic farmyard manure, and this is something I buy. We are near farms, it is true. I don't really have anywhere to rot down farmyard manure, so I let the moths fly out of my purse and buy a bit of farmyard manure in a sack. Right, that'll do. I'll dig that in and go and get the sunflowers. Slugs love sunflowers, so when I've put these in, I'm going to put some wool around them to try and stop the slugs from chomping on the stems. I mean, they are fairly mature, so I'm sort of hoping that slugs will give them a bit of a wide berth. I think if they were really young plants, the slugs would be like, yum. But I'm sort of hoping, because they've been in pots for a while, that the slugs are not going to be quite as keen on them. Who am I kidding? The slugs are going to go for them, aren't they? So I think definitely need a good bit of waste wool around them to try and keep the slugs at bay. And I'm sort of planting them in a block, hoping that they'll look good together in a block. But you can see they're really pot bound because I have had them in pots for way too long. So I'm going to give them a good water, then go and get some wool to put around them. Well, I guess I need to start editing, so I'm going to call it a day, and I will see you at some point tomorrow. Bye till then.